Now, during the Q2 Live's earning call, the NEO CEO highlighted some pretty interesting news about the upcoming models and NEO getting to profitability. And when talking about profitability, he highlighted, or he again emphasized the point that profitability is coming in Q4. But he said something very interesting that, of course, we need to take cognizant of. I mean, as soon as you notice that the NEO CEO spoke about its NEO's profitability or break-even target is based on the non-GAAP measures. Now, some people might still don't know what GAAP measures and non-GAAP measures are. I mean non-GAAP measures, for instance, if you go and have a look at the net losses of NEO that they reported, which were around 697 million. These were the GAAP losses that NEO reported for the quarter. But when looking at non-GAAP losses, it was around $576.1 million. Now, take cognizant of the fact that they said excluding share-based compensation, expenses, and organizational optimization charges, adjusted net loss was 576 million. So it comes down excluding the compensation or share-based compensation and organizational or optimization charges. Now, this non-GAAP profitability, it excludes the share-based compensation and organizational optimization or organization optimization costs that comes or that are affected on the GAAP losses. So the profitability that Neo is talking about is this kind of profitability. Even if you are to check the earnings per share, the non-GAAP earnings per share that Neo reported was 25 cents. But of course, the GAAP share that Neo actually reported was 32 cents. So this one, the adjusted and diluted net loss, which is the non-GAAP, it was excluding the share-based compensation and organizational optimization charges, right? And this is the 25 cents that we saw. So it excludes some of the expenses, or it excludes some of the incurred losses, right? Whereas the GAAP one, it is the one that it includes everything, right? I mean, Neo is saying the earnings per share, in other words, the non-GAAP earnings per share that they are going to report in Q4, it's going to be a positive. It is going to be a positive. These 25 cents that we saw, the non-GAAP earnings per share, is going to turn to a positive. It is a minus or a negative 25 cents, or it was a negative 25 cents in Q2, but in Q4, this non-GAAP EPS is going to be obviously a positive earnings per share. This is what the Neo CEO also highlighted, which is pretty interesting. But obviously, what Neo is going to strive for is to also get the GAAP to turn to a profitable, or to be profitable, which is something that is very exciting. Do you remember what the Neo president and the Neo CEO once said beginning of this year? They said when profitability comes, it will come on a large scale, meaning that the moment Neo turns to profitability, don't expect it to go back to being non-profitable. It will continue generating or seeing profitability coming, which is something that is very interesting. And I thought I start this video by telling you, or just telling you, what the GAAP and the non-GAAP differences are. Now, Neo also highlighted during the live's earning call something very interesting, and that is something when it comes to the models that they are going to launch. Neo is saying this year they might not launch the Envoy L80. You will know that Neo's plans was to launch the Envoy L80, but because of the demand that they are seeing on the Envoy L90, it does not make sense for Neo to go and launch the Envoy L80 this year. This is what the CEO also once said on a session that he did some time back, and we discussed about this. Now, next year, it looks like the L80, it is the year that it will be launched, probably in the first half. But what is also going to happen next year is that Neo is also going to launch, I think this will be a flagship model, the ES9, and the five-seater or a Neo ES7. So all these three cars will be large SUVs, but these large SUVs are not going to, I think, cater for the six-seater. I think the ES8, if you ever look at the ES8, that one, it will be a super large model. I already see it. But as to if it will be a six-seater or a five-seater, we'll wait to see. But I don't think it will be. It can be a five-seater. I don't think so, because judging or looking at the ET9, which is the current flagship model, it is a four-seater, but the premium experience onto that car, it's on another level. So meaning that it's either the ES9, it's a six-seater or a four-seater. They cannot make it a five-seater. I don't think so. And this is very, very interesting. And over and above this, there is the ES7 coming, which is going to be a five-seater. Now, something very interesting that I'm liking about Neo is that finally we get to see the difference between the ES7 and the ES8. Previously in 2024, you will know that the ES8 and the ES7, part of the reason why ES7 was not doing that well, it was because when people want to buy maybe a super, it was because those cars or those models were five-seaters. There was not really much difference between the two cars. But right now, the ES8 is it's strictly a six or seven-seater, whilst this ES7 now is just going to be a five-seater. So it's going to be so interesting, and I think finally we'll get to see the ES7 doing so well, pretty well, and I cannot wait to what is coming. So already Neo's line up for next year. I'm telling you, man, it's already preparing or going to propel Neo to even go to the next level, because not only are they going to come and launch a probably all flagship model called the ES9, but there will be also two models that are expected to hit the floor, and man, I cannot wait to see how those cars will look like. I just look forward to what is coming from Neo. So my dear friends, I just thought I quickly come and give you this news. This is the last video talking about the Life's Earning Call. This is video 2 of 2, right? I did the first session, this is the second session, and I think this news that the Neo CEO or that Neo dropped, it's pretty interesting, and it makes us to look forward. Though the profitability or the break-even that Neo was talking about coming was the non-GAAP, it is still very interesting. It will be so great to see Neo get to that level, because since existence Neo has never reached profitability, and it will be so great seeing Neo finally getting to profitability. Who knows, we might even see the GAAP profitability in Q4. But Neo, I think they just don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. But anyways, let's wait, let's see what transpires. Blue sky is coming, long term will win. That is all from me. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one, and God bless you all.